Thanks for joining, everyone. It's Elliot here. We're just going to wait 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Just tying on there and we'll be getting kicked off as soon as we can. All right, I'm going to get started. Thank you very much for joining us here and at Everbridge. Today, we're going to be looking at how we can use Everbridge to help manage a cyber response and some of the complexities around that. We'll start with how we manage those responses. I'm going to look at some challenges as well. Some of the things that we've seen, some of the best practices we can talk about. I'm going to do a short demonstration and there'll be an opportunity at the end for a Q&A. So this will probably take no more than 30 minutes, but it's great to have all those who've joined today. So when we look at how we manage a cyber response, there's many different phases, different organizations will use different processes and so on. But, overall, there'll be this detection phase. You'll have to be able to detect what has happened. And that will often come from your monitoring platforms, firewalls, intrusion detection systems, a lot of other different monitoring you may have in place. Okay. The analysis side is where something's happened, but you need to determine really what has happened. And there's going to be key parts to this that we can help with as Everbridge. The containment, the fix side, they're all going to involve different parts of process and tasks assigned to individuals or groups. And you may need to be able to get hold of people out of hours. And especially as people are working so remote these days, they may not always be in one office or one contained area. There's the recovery side, obviously, and then you do want to make sure you've got that eradication in place so that you can eradicate how it occurred in the first place, stop it occurring again. And then, we lead then into those post-incident activities and, what the lessons learned. There'll be different reporting. There'll be different pieces of data collection. Now, the way we look at this is not much different than anything really occurring. Your process may change, but something that actually occurs, you will need to be able to manage that from that detection all the way through to resolution. And some of the challenges we've found, helping organizations, global organizations, look after the cyber responses, different risk intelligence threats, or even different IT type threats that they may have, which could result in and require this kind of process. We find that the communications are always needed to different resolvers and different teams. For example, we might want to get hold of a particular team and ask them to start looking into something as a result of what was detected. And it's how do you do that? Today, we have, as we work with organizations, they have lots of manual process. They might log support tickets. They may just pick up the phone, call people. But that assignment to tasks and getting hold of people is really key to being able to solve this quickly and keeping that sort of mean time to response in the first place, mean time to recover, and some of the other sort of SLAs that we have measured as organizations need to be sort of efficient. So we need to be able to assign the tasks. We need to be able to receive updates from people working on the tasks effectively. You don't want to wait till they're back at their desk or back on the right system to be able to update you. You need some real efficient way to get updates from individuals. The collaboration between teams is crucial. You're often working with different teams, sometimes ones you're not used to working with. How do you talk to that other department, that other area? Maybe there's some database issues, network issues. Maybe it is just the security and cybersecurity teams involved. But across those different teams, there's a lot of collaboration required, especially for, sort of the major issues that you may face. And then, of course, your stakeholders, the people receiving services from you, your customers, and your management will have different types of demands in terms of the communication they need as well. Okay, so being able to provide updates to them is really, really key, and making it as efficient and as automated as possible can certainly help. Once we've resolved something, we'll clearly need to communicate and update people on that, but also what are those post-incident activities? We need to gather information probably from different parties, and how do we do that? If you've got a centralized platform that's been collecting updates and information as you go, it means that you've got a nice time-stamped, date-driven, what happened when, who did what, and how we got from that detection, the analysis, and then all the way through to the resolution. So we need to be able to gather that information and report on it for future learnings as well, and historical reporting requirements. So I just wanted to sort of highlight, these are some of the areas we help. We also help in some of the automations that can be triggered. If you wanted to trigger something to run on a particular system as part of a task, or have an individual trigger that, we can also do things like that. But I'm going to move into the demonstration part, because clearly that's going to be way more interesting than my couple of PowerPoint slides. So I'm going to start, first of all, with what we call Visual Command Center. Okay, so Visual Command Center is a view of showing threats and risks, and with your assets that would be located in an area. So here's a map, and we've got different views we can show. You can be zoomed down to street level, but this is me just showing that we've got the some assets, Australia, Singapore, Indonesia, and so on. Okay, and these blue icons here are assets, and I can see in red different risks that have occurred, and they're kind of highlighted at the bottom here. So I can see, what's occurring. But I can turn things on and off here. So I can, for example, turn on different context, different alerts as required. Sorry. So we've got the, if you're looking at this, you're looking at your assets. We've got this context layer that we can turn on, and we can even show the risks by countries, different parts of it. But your monitoring platforms today can also push data into this. So you can create what we call custom risk feeds. And so that could be where you're pushing data in from your own platforms, as you may need to, as part of this, your requirements. Because what we do find is that we have the IT side, the cyber side, and just like here, we've got threat intelligence, ransomware attack come in. I can click on this and it will zoom into the office of interest, or the area that this is occurring, and show me any impacted assets. Okay. This is giving me a quick heads up, something's occurring. This might be in your SOC or some other room, or it could be a screen that you're alerted about through a notification, and be able to say, okay, this is occurring here. And I can see some detail down here, just in terms of what has occurred, just what's been detected or what's been reported. And this is where, we were talking about the collaboration between different teams. If you had monitoring pushed into the risk feeds of this system, it would allow you to then make decisions, launch tasks, do some of those pieces that you need to interact with others, keep management informed, and so on. But in particular, you might be involved in the crisis team. Maybe there's such a business impact now, we need to start running through different business continuity plans, different types of side, which might not always fall into the cyber side. Okay, the cyber side might be much more technical, much more dealing with the issue. So let's have a look at, we've got our risk here. What we've got the option to do is we can launch what we call a critical event. You can use, different terminology, but I could say, right, I've had this reported, a quick heads up to the team, but now I need to maybe involve others and actually get communication out to other teams involved. And so we create these templates for different types of scenarios, and they can be, anything you want, but I can look at what some of the basic details are. I could see who the owners of different task lists are and plans, and I can also send communications out or launch new task assignments if I wish. Okay. We've also got alerts. We've got attached documents. You may have different information that you want to ensure is with your teams at the time, such as, different matrices, different playbooks you want them to follow for those different tasks. And you could refer to them as you need to. And as we look at, from this screen, I can drill down and have a look at, if anything is started or not. I can see, I can action that if I wish to. I can see which groups are going to be involved with the different tasks, and they would be automatically assigned and then pushed out as notifications to those individuals. Okay, so that's where this can be nice and effective. Now, if I just jump across to the more operational side of this and look at that ransomware attack, okay, it's pinpointed where it is. I can see the particular tasks, that are in progress. And if I just jump into this, it will also give me a real-time view of what those tasks are. Okay, this is the piece where getting feedback from individuals that are working on different tasks is quite difficult in real life. Okay, if you can push those tasks to individuals and get them out, it will allow them to respond and update as you go. So that can be, very, very effective. So if I, for example, bring up my phone on screen, I can see I've got various different alerts, but what I can do is I can jump into, have a look at particular tasks that have been assigned to me just now. And I could say, yeah, let's make that one in progress because I'm working on it. And this will be pushed to your mobile app. We might want to, say, that one's done and so on. But what this will do is it will update centrally information and dashboards that you want to control back with, management or anyone managing that crisis in particular. Okay, so we can, as individuals, we can push these. We can do it via SMS as well. You can still respond via SMS, but by allowing us to be able to triage, be able to update these tasks remotely, it will make the whole operation way more effective because you're not going to be chasing people for updates. Now, of course, there's going to be those times when you do need to update management or whoever. And we can do things like, we've got the task lists here, which have got, many tasks associated with them. If I just show you the post-incident activities, it's different tasks and so on, as opposed to the detection phase, which, may have a whole load of stuff in here that, will match your plan and task. So typically what we would do is we would take your tasks and load them into this system. And, that will help with the whole, that side of things. So let's move on. We can launch communications from here as well. So this is where you might have your particular templates for messaging individuals, but you could also have your stakeholder comms. Maybe you want to send out something key to your stakeholders, and you can launch them from here if you wish. But this is where, as a template, we call it a critical event template, you can actually have your different task lists, your different communications. There's not that many in here, your different documents and notes. We can also launch things like situation reports. So perhaps you need to create a report quickly on the current status for management. And I've got one created here, but just to show you quickly on the, if I just said, wanted to create a new one, what it gives me just a header, and then I can add the different sections I want to this as a report. So I could say, let's include the event details, maybe some tasks needed attention, incident notifications, perhaps, there's different parts of it you can add if you wish. If you wanted to, you could go down to the task level and even add that and save that. And what that will do is it will generate very quickly a report which is current for this current time. So it'll give you some basic, there's one task needing attention here. Need someone else to look at this to confirm the findings. You can see out of the 17 tasks, who's doing what and what the current status is, and so on. Okay, so it's allowing you to sort of create something and share it. So we can share that information, and we can use that as a way to keep people informed. Okay, so you can create those situation reports. You can keep meeting notes as well. If you wish, you can create pie charts, and there's an audit log of everything. So we're centrally collecting everything. And because we've got an extensive integration platform, we expect to integrate to your systems as well. So it's going to allow us to take in the information from other sources, even down to obviously synchronizing who these contacts are and groups that we might need to send information to. So that's going to be a key part to it. We'd integrate to whatever your system of choice is with your master records, and then that would allow you to seamlessly send this messaging as required. And as we look at there's plenty of templates, if you like, for the different incidents, so on. And these would set up ahead of time so that you're able to create them aligned to your current process and plans. But hopefully this would, so we've got some weather ones and so on. We've got different levels of updates and so on, which are made up of different fields that would be filled in by the system or by yourselves. And you can launch these from a mobile app as well. So if you did need to trigger something, you could do that as well. And today we've got the whole. I'll just come back to this one. Today we've got the whole requirement to track everything, keep everything up to date, audit reasons, and so on, show that we did the right thing. And so we'll keep that information here, but we could push that information into Microsoft Teams if we wished. Okay, so if Teams is your platform of choice, you want to collaborate and chat, we can automatically push to Teams any parts of this, any information, or we can collect information if we need to from responses and links that you put in Teams. So we can definitely do that side of things. If you've got any questions, please add them in the Q&A section. That will be really helpful. I think, Wayne, you might have something. And then I'll get to those at the end. So yeah, we create everything you see in terms of the access permissions, look and feel, the dashboards. This is where you can create those widgets. You can edit this page and have only what you want on it, anything that you need to add for a particular situation. And you can see any active events you've currently got running, like a couple we've had here, one I triggered just now and one I did earlier. Okay, so yeah, you've got some context to that. So we do also have we can load your contacts in and so on. We do obviously have extensive reporting that's available for different pieces, and we can look at sort of the main dashboards of the system and run some analytics and see some real-time things there. But just from a quick heads up, you can see how many contacts you've got in how many events you've got or incidents currently running, and drill down into those. And you can also configure it so you've got quick picks. If you wanted to just quickly do a new notification, you could do so from here. So if I wanted to, I could just click create new, and send a communication out for some ad hoc comms you may need. That maybe is on top of the templates you've created already. So it can be really nice and simple like this, where you just got a title and a message and what you want to send. You pick your individuals, and you can send that out. Or we can go for a template by using a particular template. Okay, so which one of the ones you pre-configured. We also can set rules based on priority and things like that. So if something was very high priority, or you wanted the system to behave in a certain way, maybe down to even who's communicated and how they're communicated with. Maybe you want phones to ring, conference bridges to be launched, or push to Teams in some scenarios, or SMS or email, or whatever, push notification to the mobile apps. It's all possible through the configuration. So the main points I'm trying to really show is that collaboration, communication, and centralizing of the information is really key when you're managing one of these kinds of responses. And so that's where I'm seeing Everbridge being used more and more now as IT issues, different risk feeds. I mean, if we think back to here, where we've got the different risk feeds showing, if I turn on risk events, I would just quickly jump back to where we started from. But if I was to turn on risk events here, it will actually start highlighting all the risks that a noise, if you like, that can come in. And you can see even, Australia is like covered in actually weather related. It's color coded in red. I think it's weather. No, it's actually a Vodafone outage. There you go. I didn't realize. Okay, so there's this is already resolved now, but you can set timelines and so on. But you can see if there's big things happening in an area. You can see there's been an earthquake here. You can see different risk events, different types of things that have occurred, and you can show just the current ones, or you can show some historical ones. So it can be very useful. And now, if you overlay that with some of your triggers from your cyber systems, your monitoring, your IT monitoring, we can start to really help bring those areas together from that sort of those silos we work in the different teams and departments, all the way through to crisis management. So that's really what I wanted to cover today. It was really just a quick intro into some of the things we are doing and helping in managing the responses, and that can be cyber or others. And yeah, I'm hoping that's of interest to people. We would love to be able to show you more tailored and detailed information, maybe around your own specific use case. So I'd love you to be able to reach out and get in touch with us. But I'll just open it up to questions now at the moment. If you could if you've got any questions, type it in the Q&A section in the chat. If you want to hold that and contact us afterwards, we'd love to hear from you and be able to maybe do a more meaningful presentation and demonstration tailored to your use case. So thank you for that. Can't see anything at the moment.
Hi, Elliot.
Hi.
I have Wayne who has raised his hand. Can I allow him to talk? Because
Yeah,
I have
sure.
not a question for him.
Yep.
Hi, Wayne. If you are there, you are free to ask a question to Elliot.
Hi, this is Wayne. Thanks so much for the sharing sessions. I find that Everbridge is I've been using Everbridge since before, especially in my days here in Great Eastern. What you have shared is actually more informative than what I've been using. So allow me to internalize those information first. And if I have any questions, I will reach out to my account manager based in Singapore directly, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And great to hear you've used it before, and yeah, got use out of it. But yeah, and I hope today, yeah, you've seen that another side to it maybe that you weren't using previously.
Yes, definitely. That's a totally new side that I wasn't aware before.
Perfect. Good.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, look forward to speaking to you in the future.
Cool. Thanks much. Cheers.
Thanks. All right. I haven't got any other questions at this stage, but thank you very much for joining. And yeah, really appreciate the time. and yeah, hear from you soon. Thank you.